It's tough. The first advice I would give them is to make sure you've really mastered an instrument. Ideally, they always say it's best to either be a string player or a keyboard player, but there are some very fine conductors out there who've been bass players. Zubin Mehta was a bass player, let's say, brass players. Joanne Folletta, very fine conductor. She's a guitarist, classical guitarist. But make sure you've really mastered an instrument. I think that's so important because you need to know what it really feels like to really play at a professional level before you can stand up on the box and start to tell people what to do and have that take over that sense of authority. It's a psychological thing, and I think it's a sense of being honest, a sense of integrity. So the first thing is really master an instrument. Make sure you've taken sight singing. Make sure you've learned good ear training. Start to develop those skills. Work with rhythmic exercises so that you really get a good sense of inner rhythm, inner pulse. And then the next thing I would say is, obviously start to study the actual technique of conducting, but at the same time, try to see if you can gather some friends together. Get a string quartet together of friends and see if you can get them to follow you and read what you're doing. Conducting is the hardest thing because you can study your score all you want, but you don't really ultimately get to practice your art until you're in front of the orchestra. And you're not going to have 20 rehearsals, not in this day and age. It's, sometimes as a young assistant conductor, you have to get up and conduct with no rehearsals. So try to go to workshops. There are a lot of good conducting workshops around they're very helpful. See if you can get a pianist to work with who can play for you when you conduct. But the main thing is just getting that experience of actually having people playing off your beat, because it's very easy to listen to a recording. Oh, it sounds great. I'm conducting away, and this is terrific, but you're not. You're actually conducting to the music. You're following the music. You're not instigating. You're not the propulsion for the music. So it's entirely, and no matter what you do, they'll play it right. So